So a friend of ours, Peter, has restarted up his YouTube channel, and he's got a really good explanation of the introverted functions and extroverted functions, really coming from a Carl Jung perspective. Really good, deep research, kind of the stuff that we don't cover here. Getting more in depth with the actual psychology that Carl Jung really observed, right? So just kind of putting another layer on this, the basic building blocks of introvert and extrovert. As we're kind of moving on from the old Myers-Briggs and the 16 types and the letters and all that, we're really starting to understand and redefine these terms. Now, at the core of it, at the very foundation, is introvert and extrovert. So the first thing is, you are not an introvert or an extrovert, because that's clumping kind of a whole summary of your whole type. That isn't necessarily how we're seeing things anymore. You have introverted functions about you and extroverted functions, and it's half and half. And you may have predominantly savior extroverted functions or introverted functions, and that's where, yes, you can see that some people are off the charts extroverted, right? And some are very introverted. That's where they're getting a lot of introverted energy kind of adding up. So all of us are going to relate to introvert and extrovert and needing to be alone to be charged up and all that kind of stuff, right? So what exactly does introverted and extroverted mean? It seems to run parallel with subjective and objective. Just like inductive and deductive reasoning seems to be kind of running parallel with intuition and sensing. You have introverted SI, NI, FI, TI, right? You have all sorts of introverted stuff. Like, what does that mean? It just means like something that is true for you, something that makes sense to you, something that works for you. So you're going through life and you're gathering in all this extroverted information through your SE, your NE, whatever. You're talking with all these people, TE, FE. So there's an unlimited amount of data and possibilities and issues and bullshit going on in the outside world. And you can't prioritize any of that. Like, it's just too much. So the introverted world is now creating a bias of now trying to prioritize it and order it and build on it. So as you're going out in the world, you're running into a million dumb ideas, some good, some bad. And then you're going, ooh, I really like those ideas. Now you're grabbing those and pulling them in, and those are locking into your introverted world. And if it's your TI, you're going to really be developing those ideas for your identity. If you're FI, you're going to be really valuing those ideas for your identity. If you're looking at it through your SI or NI, you're going to be, ooh, how can I take that understanding and build my worldview and understand how things work better with that? Whatever. The point is, you're taking things inside your own world and making it true to you. The introverted function isn't necessarily charged up by being alone. It's charged up by being in the inner world of things that make sense to the self. So when you fall in love, when you have a very close friend, and they have the same introverted world as you, they have the same core values, that person comes in to your introverted world. And now you can have this very deep, passionate discussion for hours. And that's not an extroverted experience if you're sharing introverted worlds together. And then same with the extroverts. It's not necessarily that they're charged up by being around people, right? Because, say for example, with TE oftentimes loves to work alone because they have that weak FI, and they like to get shit done. Now they're going to later give it to the tribe. They're going to want to see the tribe appreciate it to get that full TE validation, right? But TE enjoys just getting shit done for the tribe. They don't need to have the tribe right in their fucking face all day long, right? Another example is these damn EPs. There's a lot of introverted EPs, whether they're NE or SE, and they just love observing and taking in and understanding the outside world. They don't necessarily need to do that with people. A lot of them, if they're consumed sleep, they prefer to do that alone. Yet their first function is extroverted. He just wants to take in the world. They don't necessarily need to go to your stupid soap opera party, right? The introverted functions are being charged up by something that is relating to your personal inner world, your view of the world. And the extroverted functions are just looking to gather in realities from the outside world or affect change in the outside world, and that may or may not include going to a party or being around people or all the old Myers-Briggs kind of stereotype stuff, right? Anyways, that's just a brief overview. I'd recommend watching Peter's video. He gets in a little bit more depth of the workings of introverted and extroverted. I've been studying this stuff for years, and still, it's like every few months, it's like I'm relearning this all over again.